Good morning, Trains Nation. Welcome to another episode of Video Trains Newswire. Today is Friday, February 24th, 2017. We're glad you could join us. I'm Steve Sweeney.
Hi there, I'm Jim Wren, and Steve has counted all of the Newswire items we've published this week, and it is a whopping number
53 stories so far, and we've got more to come. And Jim, just want to let you know that 12 of those have a little red flag on them. That means that they are a flash breaking news story or an exclusive to trains that you will find nowhere else on the interweb. So we got a really fantastic week so far. I want to start off with just an interesting story. It's a smaller story that we have, but interesting story. Metra, the commuter railroad for Chicago, their managers came out with a survey sometime in 2016, and they just released the results of what bothers people, what bothers commuters most.
And I guess other commuters.
Other commuters, other commuters, but specifically, the top
to the railroad. Oh, okay.
With regard, well, with other people, Metra commuters dislike rowdy groups, other people saving seats, and coughing or sneezing without covering your mouth.
What happened to cell phones? People talking loudly on the cell phone.
Oh,
that wasn't on there?
No, that wasn't on there. Didn't make the top 3 list.
I'm surprised.
But saving seats, rowdy crowds, and I mean, if you've been on a Metra train after some late night event, I mean, it's just full of beer and commuters.
Oh yeah. Or ride NJT some Saturday morning whenever there's a lot of suburbanites headed into town for a show.
Right. Yeah.
They start early.
Do they really?
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that after the show. But
okay, we can
trust me, I've seen it first person. But so what are they going to do with these?
Well, what they're going to do is make specialty posters, and they're going to start putting them up all over the network to try and remind people, hey, be courteous, don't sneeze in someone else's face, or hey, not everyone is just as awake and riled as you are at 1 o'clock in the morning coming home from a game. Be kind. So
be nice.
Be nice to everyone. What a concept, but so just an interesting thing. You can find out the full details of that on Newswire this week.
Pretty cool story.
Going out west a little bit, the Colorado State Legislature has introduced a new bill trying to expand some of the scope of one of their passenger rail committees, and instead of just focusing on the Southwest Chief, they want to see if they can bring back passenger service to the Front Range.
Wow.
Between Denver and Pueblo, which would be really cool.
It's funny you said that because I was on a friend of mine's Facebook page this morning, and I was watching the traffic map for Denver this morning.
Was it just like
red? A lot of red spaghetti out there. Yeah. I love Denver, and of course, Colorado is one of Train's favorite destinations. And in fact, we've got more news about that in a little bit. But I mean, the traffic along I-25 is just crazy. It would be a useful service. A useful alternative, I will say that.
Yeah, and it would be something I would definitely use too. I mean, we go down to Pueblo quite a bit for the research center. So fly into Denver, take a train downtown, take the train down to Pueblo. Yeah, it'd be good. So Jim, what's piqued your interest so far this week?
Well, let's stay with Colorado. I mean,
let's do it.
There's unbelievably steam news there.
Yeah, I heard about
There's a locomotive. There's a group in Como, Colorado, where the roundhouse is preserved from the old South Park Railroad. And now they've found a small old 262 they're going to restore and try to get down there as early as August, which would just be incredible. So when you think Colorado Preservation Railroad and can't get any better.
It does.
It does.
And that's a narrow gauge, right?
It's another little narrow gauge steam locomotive. And Como is very easy to get to from Denver. It's only about 75 miles southwest of Denver along a very good highway. So even though it's remote, it's pretty easy to get to.
Yeah. Well, I have to go pay a visit.
Go check that out.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Going up north a little bit, Canadian Pacific did something that we did not expect. They brought back their beaver.
Bring back the beaver.
The golden beaver in their logo. So in the past 5 years or so since Hunter Harrison had been at Canadian Pacific, they had that big letter CP. It was imposing. It sort of looked like a brand mark for a cow. But now they've got the nice crest with Canadian Pacific Railway, 1881, the beaver on top, the maple leaf. Looks kind of nice.
Is it going to be back on the side of the locomotives?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. We're asking about that. But
I hope so. But it looks great there.
Yeah. If they ever repaint their locomotives, it would look nice to have that golden logo on the side.
It looks cool.
That was kind of cool. Should we talk about CSX?
Yes, they're still working, trying to figure out if they're going to bring in this investor group led by Hunter Harrison and the Mantle Ridge Investor Group. Still talking about that, still negotiating. They pushed it off again later on until March. So still sort of a wait and see situation.
Yeah, the key date was going to be today, and then they pushed it off to March 10th. And they also promoted somebody too.
Right.
Because
they had a brand new president.
Right. Frederick Eliasson?
Eliasson.
You've met him before, haven't you?
I've not.
Okay.
Met quite a few of the other folks down there.
Sure.
But not him.
Yeah, he's promoted from executive vice president of, I can't quite remember, but to president. He's replacing Clarence Gooden, who's going to retire in May.
He's going to retire in May.
And so is Michael Ward, who's the CEO and chairman. He's going to retire in May. But interestingly, CSX has left the chairman CEO position open to be determined by shareholders. So maybe that's Hunter Harrison who will come in, or maybe that's Eliasson who will be elected by shareholders. We don't know. But it's really interesting to watch.
There's nothing that says you have to have a CEO.
You know, that's right. It could be just the president. There could be a chairman of the board, and there could be a president.
I've seen that take place before.
Yeah.
So it could happen. But yeah, another as the CSX turns.
The saga unfolds.
Saga unfolds.
That's kind of cool. A little bit of locomotive news. Siemens Charger locomotive. A Siemens Charger locomotive with Indiana Department of Transportation marks is up in the Pacific Northwest, testing its legs out on some of the runs up there in the Cascades. So details of that are on Newswire. Also, EMD announced that, or it fully debuted its new switching locomotive, which is based on a Jeep 40. You actually had that in the locomotive column back in February's issue.
Right. And now it's passed its emissions testing.
Correct.
So it's a full Tier 4 locomotive, ready to go.
Yes. So that's
take care of all your switching needs.
That's kind of interesting, and that's a lot of news. You got anything else right now, Jim? You said more Colorado, right?
Well, I wanted to talk about the steam locomotive, but
okay.
You know the traffic figures are up 7%.
Yes, they are.
Now overall, that was for the week. Overall for the year, they're just up a teeny tiny bit, maybe 0.5%. So edging up, but still not quite there. One of the more interesting stories I thought, and you'll love to read this one. There's a movie company looking for preservation equipment down in Atlanta. And they've got a long list of exactly what they need, and it's kind of interesting. I've never seen a cattle call like this for rolling stock. So that's out there, and just a reminder: if you are in the Denver area, this does actually go back to Colorado.
Okay.
If you're in the Denver area, I'll be there on March 4th, and going to give a presentation at the Rocky Mountain Train Show. So
that's right.
Stop by and visit. We'd love to see you.
Absolutely. And you and I believe someone from UP's STEAM program is going to be there as well?
Dickens will be there. And there's a couple other folks that are going to be there that are going to talk about the Winter Park ski train.
So this is not just toy trains. This is like a full train show.
Right.
Well, that sounds good.
All train sizes to serve you better.
That's right. That's right. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, cool. We've been doing Pithy Comment for the past few weeks. This will be the last week that we're doing a Pithy Comment. It hasn't quite worked out as well as we'd hoped, but you guys who have participated well. The Pithy Comment for this week comes from James Kuhn. Kuhn? Yeah,
yeah,
that works. Yeah. And it's a one-liner. # Year of the Rotary.
I like
That's
that.
right. I
you
like
must
that
be
too.
talking about the Donner Pass,
Yes.
snows, and they haven't got out. Have not gotten out the Rotary.
That's correct. Now
They're still using the Jordans.
there are rumors that if there's more snow coming into the Sierras the
At
next
some point they have
week,
to.
they might have to, because of course you can only get Jordan spreaders and flanges up there and do
They
so
only
much.
go so deep.
Once it goes over your roof, you're pretty much done. But yeah, Year of the Rotary. So James Kuhn, email me, Steve, at newswire@trainsmag.com. That's an email address, newswire@trainsmag.com. Send me your mailing address, and we'll get you out a copy of the Chicago special issue, which is on newsstands right now. 98 pages of the best photography and the best stories on Chicago that we've ever done, and a few stories that you've seen before, but much of it is brand spanking new and well done. Newswire@trainsmag.com, by the way, in case you don't know, is a great place to send tips, links to YouTube videos of trackside video that you've taken, or if you just have a news tip you'd like us to know about, I'll be sure to see it every day. So that's fantastic. Jim, this has been an awesome week. It's going to be an awesome weekend. Have a good one.
Take care.
The drama of modern railroading is nowhere more apparent than in Chicago. Trains Magazine takes you along for an up-to-date look at the Windy City's railroad scene with its new 60-minute DVD and special issue, Chicago, America's Railroad Capital. You will see today's passenger and freight operations in urban landscapes and bright suburban locations, as well as a look at the development of the city's rail network. Both are available January 2017 at KalmbachHobbyStore.com.